2 minutes, whatever the gentleman. 3 minutes, I'm sorry.
3 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding, and thank you, Mr. Speaker. And, I sit back, and as we're watching the debate today, I've got to take my hat off to the gentleman from Maryland, who I think has the toughest job in the whole chamber, Mr. Speaker, and that is he's basically today the lawyer for the status quo. And that's a tough job. That's a tough argument to make. No matter how thoughtful the arguments have been on this side of the aisle, there's an urgency.
The gentleman yield.
I will at the end. I'll give you 30 seconds at the end.
Thank you.
No matter how poignant the arguments are that there's an urgency, no matter how jarring the unemployment figures are at 9.2%, no matter what the rating agencies are saying, the gentleman from Maryland is basically saying, no, there's a better plan. But I would submit that there is no better plan. There is no more balanced plan than cut, cap, and balance. Most Americans, as they're listening to this debate, they're hearing Washington, D.C. basically saying, hold the line. Defend the status quo. Lash ourselves to the mast, and we're going to get around the Cape, by golly, if we only just stick on the current course, where the current course is a failure. There's nobody that can defend the status quo with a straight face. And so what happens now is this majority has come up and said, okay, there's a pathway forward, and the pathway forward is immediate, short-term, and long-term. And I don't see what the argument is. I'm happy to yield to the gentleman.
I thank the gentleman. If what you mean by protecting the status quo is meaning that I'm opposed to actually manipulating the Constitution of the United States to make it harder to reduce special interest tax breaks, I don't think we should change the Constitution that way.
I will graciously reclaim my time. I will graciously reclaim my time.
I thought you said 30 seconds.
It was in 30 seconds, and maybe it's all up.
If the gentleman
from Illinois controls the time.
And furthermore, they're doing it in an orderly basis. That is, amending the Constitution forthrightly and directly. And I think in closing, Mr. Speaker, my hat is off to the gentleman from Maryland, who no matter what the majority has come up with, always comes up with some argument that just defies logic. But I think most Americans, as they're listening to this debate, are saying, cut it, cap it, and balance it, and do it now, and I yield back.
Yields back. Gentleman from Maryland.